oil boundary as eager drillers flock to the Rocky Mountains.
Companies come out here and just drill and drill and drill.
Denver 7 starts right now.
And good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Now, benzene is a toxic byproduct of fossil fuel production, and there was way too much of it found in the groundwater near a Weld County community's water supply.
And this is right by Weld County roads 10 and 15, and Denver 7's Jennifer Kowaleski spent the day looking into this toxic problem.
It happened here at this battery tank run by Anadarko. It's just outside the town of Dacono. What you're looking at right now, this is the area they cleaned up and the thousands of cubic feet of toxic soil they removed that had high levels of benzene that far exceeded the state limits for exposure.
I came out 2 days in a row last week to fly.
Tom Eubanks comes to this airstrip to fly his remote control planes right next to this oil and gas site, where crews recently uncovered toxic cancer-causing chemicals.
They were right over there, right around inside that fence.
Eubanks watched as they hauled out contaminated dirt and groundwater for 2 days.
Hauled quite a few truckloads of dirt away.
This detailed report filed with the state tells the story of what happened. Anadarko says it discovered the contaminated groundwater while trying to dig up an old pump, forcing crews to remove 200 barrels of tainted groundwater. Lab tests found benzene 900 times the amount allowed by the state.
It's hard to argue the fact that you have extremely high levels of benzene out here. Well, what causes it? It's not farming wheat.
Benzene is a natural part of crude oil and gasoline, but is known to cause cancer.
We're within a mile of those tanks.
Don lives down the street, but had no idea about the spill.
Well, I didn't even know about it until I heard it from you.
The operator also removed nearly 10,000 cubic feet of polluted soil, enough to fill nearly 383 hot tubs.
I think that does not surprise me one bit.
Anadarko says it's in the process of removing a tank battery at the site, and that's how they found the toxic soil, something they say is not uncommon doing this kind of work. The big question now, are nearby wells safe?
Their wells go down in the ground too.
The state is still conducting tests to figure that out. For Eubanks, he had no idea his hobby would give him a front row seat to the expanding footprint of oil and gas.
Just like everywhere you see, there's a drilling platform going up, one coming down, moving it.
In Weld County, Jennifer Kowaleski, Denver 7.
The state says these types of spills don't usually go beyond the immediate area, and Anadarko says they believe they've got this one contained.
Although today we learned that Extraction Oil and Gas, one of Colorado's largest drilling companies, announced plans to drill almost 200 new wells next year. They haven't said how many of those wells would be here in Colorado, but consider this. Oil production here in our state rose by about 33% this year. And in just the past 4 months, there have been $2 billion worth of drilling deals in the Denver-Julesburg Basin.